All right, we have another episode finally. I'm sorry you guys waited for over a year, but good things come to those who wait. A lot has happened in a year. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record because I did not have, my laptop was just garbage, and I had to bite the bullet and do it in smaller parts. So this episode may be broken down into a couple parts, but you'll kind of be notified. But this is part 1 of my episode with Hailey. Yay! Hello. But I'm just going to kind of do it similar where I have had a guest before, and we're just going to jump right in. So just start from the beginning if you have a beginning.
Okay. The beginning would be actually the house that I grew up in, which is the house that I grew up in. So my grandparents owned the house that we grew up in, and we were just kind of like living there, because they would travel. And from as long as I could remember, I was too scared to sleep in my own room, because for the longest time I would share a room with my sister, and she and I would both see and hear weird stuff. And then I obviously got to the age where I was too old to be sharing a room with my sister. And I feel like it actually kind of got weirder once we got our own rooms. I don't know if we just felt more secure.
I was just going to say, do you think maybe it probably had something to do with you guys had each other? So if something weird did happen, it was a lot easier to kind of brush off, or and then there's strength in numbers, especially with that kind of thing too. So
definitely. In fact, actually, one of the first things that happened to the two of us. We had a life-size Barbie doll growing up. Is that look in your face? Yeah. I remember getting it for Christmas one year, and I think we both had the same feeling about it. At first it was cool, and then weird stuff would start happening, and we both realized that it wasn't cool anymore. So what would happen is we would put it in one area of the room, and then wake up and it would be in another area of the room.
Yeah. And
literally any story you will hear, oh, we blamed each other.
Yeah.
Because that's where your brain goes.
Exactly.
Your brain doesn't go to, this fucking thing is haunted.
No, exactly. And one thing that I would always think about, especially with your parents, if they were just trying to fuck with you.
Oh, because that's something they would do. Do you remember how many times that they would because my mom loves Halloween decorating. Yes. They would just put on full ass Halloween costumes just to scare us in the middle of the year.
Yeah, well, my dad, because he would work the haunted house at the club. That motherfucker. He would put the mask on. I'm already terrified of masks.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, don't know who I am, and don't try to scare me with a mask because you'll get jacked in the face. Yeah. But he would be really quiet and get right next to my face and wake me up. He almost got decked a couple times. He's lucky he's fast.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom likes to pull pranks and likes to scare people. Which is kind of where I got it from. All in good fun. But yeah, no, we had this life-size Barbie doll, and there were a few times where, because we had bunk beds, which is also kind of every horror movie you watch, kids.
Another podcast I listen to, Darkness Radio, if you want another good horror podcast, they talk about just weird shit that happens when you have bunk. I don't know if it's because of a bunk bed, your house is haunted, but so many people's personal stories even happen from bunk beds. Yeah. So I don't know if maybe because a lot of people I don't think I've ever known anybody who actually just went out and bought a bunk bed. Yeah. Most of the time they're used, at least to my knowledge. Anybody I've ever known just had oh, it's a garage sale, let's get it. So maybe it has something to do with the energy, but
could be.
I don't know.
Yeah, because there's a podcast that I also listen to called Scared to Death, and recently there was an episode that reminded me so much of that story about these two little girls where their mother gave them 2 dolls And like the weird stuff that was happening in that video or in that episode reminded me a lot of what happened. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No.
That plant over there, you see the butterflies in it?
Yeah.
So that was my grandmother's plant. My aunt just gave it to me.
Oh.
That butterfly just moved. Did you see me like...
I know, I did. Well, there's a lot of stories that we'll actually probably cover in this episode regarding that particular person, just because...
It just fucking did it. Okay, it must
be
a vent.
No, it's... Yeah, the fan's blowing, I'm sure.
It was like as soon as you looked away.
Yeah,
That's why I was like, what the
it.
fuck?
I saw
that
it.
was definitely the vent. Okay.
That was definitely...
Debunked.
Okay, debunked. You heard it here, folks. We might be into paranormal, but like we're also sane. So.
Yeah.
Not everything is a ghost.
No, I like to... kind of like in Ghost Adventures. I love that show.
Yes,
it's like I want to find something rational before I go
You
to
want
that.
to rationalize what something is before you automatically jump to, oh my god, it was a ghost.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
No, I completely agree with you because it's just, I don't know, it's like, you know, we're adults. Like, even when I was younger and like the weird shit that would happen to me, even when I was like 10 years old, I'm trying to like rationalize like what this was as far, you know, because not everything's paranormal. Like, it can still be fucking scary, but without it being a ghost.
Ghost, exactly.
Or like a fucking...
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, you can continue.
Okay, so we had a doll, and we actually, like, we'd both be in our bunk beds, and we'd both see it move, or we'd wake up in the middle of the night, and it would be, like, specifically one night, she and I will both recount this, where she always had the top bunk, I had the bottom bunk, and one morning when I woke up, it was at the end of my bed.
Ew!
And it was, like, in the corner.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you have top or bottom? Because
I had bottom bunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, either way, like, I mean, that's not something that
just happens.
And I feel like, you know, if it was, like, somebody trying to spook with you, you know, you're gonna hear it. Like, I mean, I'm a super light sleeper, so, like, I could literally hear somebody could be, like, at the door and say, Lex. And then I'm like,
well, ask my fiance. I am too, and I'm kind of a bitch about it.
So I feel like in that if somebody, my opinion on the thing, if somebody would have gone in there to try to fuck with you, like even if you are being like super quiet, you have to be like mega ultra like insane quiet. So
well, the thing is, and we realized it like in the middle of the night, like we both woke up and like I was like, Margot, and she's like, yeah. I'm like, do you? And she's like, yeah.
Oh, God.
So, yeah. But, yeah, weird stuff would happen at a house all the time. Like, you've actually seen it yourself.
Yes, I have.
In the closet. So, the two bedrooms are connected by a walk-through closet.
Yes.
You can walk totally into another room. In that closet, there is... a handprint. Yeah,
I was gonna say something like I was just gonna see if that's kind of where you're going because like I can even like confirm this. There's like it wasn't like I don't remember it being like super like noticeable. It wasn't like oh my god, it's a handprint, but it was like it was just like off colored. It was a handprint. Like there's no other way, and
it's been painted over.
It's
before,
been exactly
times,
and it still pops up.
Yeah. So and all of our weird stuff kind of happens surrounding that area of the house mainly.
Yeah.
But specifically that closet.
Yeah.
So going further on, we got them 2 different bedrooms at that point, and I would sleep in the living room every night because I was just kind of terrified of being in my own bedroom.
Yeah, and to kind of give you guys a little more context, the bedrooms were almost connected by that closet with the handprint.
Yes.
So, like, basically the only thing, you know, obviously they had their separate doors, but, like, you could pretty much hear what you were saying in your room if you were in another room. So they were connected by a walk-in closet, essentially.
Yeah. And we used to think it was cool to, like, go in there and, like, mess with each other. You know, you can walk through it. Like, when we first got into the house, that was, like, this super cool feature. And then it turned into something that, like, we wouldn't fuck with it after a while. So, because we would hear like knocking in there in the middle of the night.
Oh,
after we got the 2 different bedrooms. Because at first I was sleeping in my own bedroom because it was totally all Tinkerbell.
Oh yeah, I remember
it was
that.
Like pink and purple.
Yes, to make it like happy and less scary.
Yeah. Like my mom even bought us like bought me like custom signs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember your Tinkerbell room. Okay, and so just to kind of, so did you hear the knocking in the closet?
In the closet on the walls.
Because I believe Margot's episode, which I might have been the last episode that I recorded, does mention the knocking thing too.
Yes.
So this is another person that's saying basically the same story, like you know.
Yeah, and again, we would think that it was each other messing with each other, but there were a few times where I would like not say anything. I would like go and like slowly open the door to see if she was like even in the room. There were a few times she wasn't even in the room, or she'd be sleeping.
Exactly. And so like, was the knocking like knocking, or was it like just kind of like a lighter like kind of?
It was, hey, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't aggressive.
Yeah, it was just like maybe like you know, like when someone knocks on your door, like, hey, you know, open up, motherfucker.
It was enough to give you chills, that's for sure.
Yeah, so, because, like, that's just one thing, like, I would think about, too, because, like, you know, I'm sure it's not drafty in a closet. Like, it's a closed room. But, like, the hangers might bump against the wall, but that would just be, like, barely audible.
Physical, like
someone was like,
damn.
Yeah. Okay, ew.
Or sometimes she'd be listening. I mean, this was a shitty old early 2000s CD player kind of thing. But there'd be times where it would just start blasting in the middle of the night. Because, we'd like to fall asleep to music and stuff.
Yeah, but
and it would just, like, turn itself all the way up.
Yeah.
And specifically one day where, like, it was me, her, and I believe her boyfriend at the time were in there kind of talking about the weird stuff that would happen in the house. And I don't know what we were listening to at the time, but the CD started skipping and just kept going, die, die, die,
Ew.
die. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, like, I mean, that's creepy. Like, even if it's just
it could have been just nothing.
It could have been absolutely nothing, but, like, the fact that it was, like, I mean, when a CD skips, like, I mean, some of you youngins, I know, right? Nobody listens to this, it's fine. But, like, no, and it would skip, and it sucks, because it'd be, like, the same spot, I just, like, I couldn't get past it, but, like, the fact that it was just, like, die, 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 die.
Yeah.
Like, the kids tend to throw it out.
I know, right? Yeah, so then I started sleeping in the living room after a while, because I think it was because I always had this weird fear of being locked in that room. Like, it would, like, the door shutting, and it would, like, and that never happened.
Yeah, no,
but it was always in the back of my head that could be a thing. I don't know why, but I was always, like, afraid of being trapped. And that, to this day, is still, like, a big fear of mine. So I started sleeping in the living room because there's no doors to lock me in there. And so at this time, my nanny was in poor health. And we knew that any day she could have passed. And I had woken up. It was really early in the morning. I'd say like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
And I just had like a gut feeling in my head, or like in my stomach. Gut feeling in my head.
Same thing.
In my stomach.
That's fine.
And then all of a sudden the phone rings. And I knew. Like I knew something. But then my dad starts crying, and I really knew at that point that my grandma had passed. And minutes before that happened, I had seen someone, like a black, I would say a shadow figure, walk from the kitchen through the living room and like into my sister's room at that time.
Yeah.
And she saw it also.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So I didn't really have bad feelings about that. But it certainly spooks you.
Absolutely.
When weird stuff is already happening in the house.
And then especially a shadow figure. Like,
Yes,
there's a lot of
because there's a lot
negative
of
connotation.
negative-
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
And at this point, I was a baby growing up.
I
didn't like watching horror movies until later on in life.
I'm gonna have to cut you off right then because we have like 5 seconds left of this
Okay.
one. Like I said, I'm having to record a weird, so join